You pussycats, it's Bushka on Blitz here. Hello there, humans, hippies, earthlings, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and whoever you're lucky enough to be doing it to. I'm just doing it always to a borsig. Always doing it to a borsig, can't get enough of it. Today's a bit of an interesting video. We had a question in the mailbag, I think it was Mal Lewis, actually hit me up when I was doing the podcast today with Snake Eyes and Swiss of the Cheezels. And he had a really interesting question saying, what's the 7 highly effective habits in Blitz that you'd employ to be successful? Something along those lines. I think it was Dale Carnegie did a self-help book. It was very, very famous. You've probably heard it. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People or something like that. And I thought that's a great bloody question because there are so many things in Blitz you look at and what's the most important and how would you rate them. And it's probably too diverse and too, I don't know, esoteric, just massive. It's a really broad spectrum question, but it brought up some really interesting things for me, mainly what I consider the most important. Now, I've talked about some of these things before ad nauseum, and it might be a little bit annoying, but I'm going to go through a couple of maps, one in the T54, one in the T54Ltw, and another one in the Leopard 1, and talk about, and 2 of them are on the same map, this map here, Castilla, and I'm going to talk about the skills I'm using that you need to learn and why I'm using them and how you should probably be using them yourself and what the enemy's doing wrong as well. Bit of a jack of all trades video title, but for what it's worth, I think this would be really good if you were just coming to Blitz, and I'll try and break it down and be as simple and straightforward as possible. Some of the older hands aren't going to have any struggles with this as well at all. So I think the number 1 skill in Blitz by miles is reading the map, and I've talked about this before ad nauseum, as I mentioned, but I keep track of the map all the time, the mini map. I know how many tanks are left on the enemy team most of the time, and I get targets because of it. And you'll see that PTA just popped up. He wasn't on my scope, but I saw him pop on the mini map, and I immediately turned around and put a shot into him. Now, if he had been paying any attention whatsoever, he would have known that I was on that minimap. Now, I'm about to make a huge error for much the same reason that PTA did. See the object 704 on my left? He wasn't spotted. I should have known exactly where that guy was because that is where snipers like to hit on this side of the map in that corner. I didn't go there. I copped my just desserts. I put one into him, but really a bad play by my part, and that PTA was bad play on his part. So you can see what I'm talking about there, the very basics of reading the map. It's not just about knowing where people are on the radar, it's about guessing where they would likely be if they're not spotted, and then tailoring your gameplay accordingly. Now, this is a supremacy map. The most important prime mover here, if I want to win, is to cap this A flag. They have a Borsig. The Borsig is the thing that I'm thinking about here because nothing on their team can really spot me at this range in a light tank, and that T54Ltw Rudy has already moved down there without being hit, and he doesn't have nearly the camo I have. I'm capping. Patience is what we're talking about here. That is a shot on the T44. Why didn't I take it? Because there's 1 tank, 2 tanks only spotted, and I want to cap this to win. Capping is my prime objective here. I've completed that secondary objective, start doing damage and defending that cap point. That's a really simple plan, but it's a good plan. And I'm not going to push down there because they've got 7 tanks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How many are spotted on that map at the moment? 2. Uno, dos. Now you're about to see the 3rd, and you're going to find him because I'm not the one pushing up, but someone else will. He'll take a shot, the LTTB that's up there right now, and he'll be spotted. So there's 3 tanks there. 1 spotted on the far right, 2 more have popped, 1's down. So that means we're only really missing the Borsig, the Borsig. If these guys on my left are not dead, the Borsig is not there. He's in the far top corner, and he is. And that's all through a process of elimination. I am a little bit worried because I'm going to push here and I'm willing to exchange hit points to kill this T44 if the Borsig is looking down this alleyway and zoomed in on me. And I'm going to minimize that by getting down ASAP and getting under the gun and behind this rock and that low berm in front of me. So there's 4 tanks left. I can see 3 of them. The only one I can't see is the Borsig. I'm going to approach this top area and you'll see there's a bush in front of me here. That's camo. Let's get behind the camo as we push up, because bushes increase your camouflage rating quite a bit. And there he is. The Borsig was doing the same thing behind a bush. But I got close enough to spot him without being spotted, and that's pushed him off his little perch here, spotted him up. He is now available to get smashed by all and sundry, and I've moved all the way up the map without losing a hit point, capping one base and putting shots in on targets. Well, simple stuff really, really simple stuff. But it's a combination of multiple things. But the most important, and that was the whole point of this map here, is looking at the mini-map, reading the mini-map, and making educated guesses based on that mini-map. And that'll get you a long, long way. Now we're going to talk about using your team to do damage rather than actually pressing the button yourself and doing the business. And to do that, we're going to have a look at my good mate, the T54, resplendent in Zivadun camouflage. This is a tier 10 game. 3 monster guns there, the E100, the 183, the grill, one 183mm, two 150mm. Now 150s have 640 average alpha. The most dangerous of the lot though is the YOLO wagon there, the tier 10 object 263. He can pump out monumental amounts of damage at 460 alpha a pop. I'm actually not looking to hit anyone here at all. I'm going to reverse as soon as I see a target. You'll see behind me there's an IS-4. I am going to spot this target for that IS-4 and the tortoise. And there's an STB floating around as well who'll end up here eventually. I'm trying to keep this T54 lit up. I'm waiting for someone to actually get their act together. The Rodriguez is reloading. He's hit him once and he's telling me he's got the target. That is fan-diddly-tastic. I'm going to be an absolute pest here. I'm not pulling the trigger really. I'm just looking to keep him spotted up. And if he misses and forgets about me, I'll tap him again and say, hey mate, still love ya, missing ya, really can't get enough of ya. If you're not going to point at me, I'm going to hit you and then I'm going to retreat. This is being a pest. This is how you play a light tank too. The T54 from our team, sorry, not the T54 from our team, that's me. The STB1 from our team has pushed up there and he spotted up the YOLO wagon and backed off. He's taken a hit. I'm going to get a shot at this YOLO wagon, no good, but I'm really well angled and I've got strong armor and I'm going to get no damage from him whatsoever. He's going to absolutely cop the angry pants soon and charge me. Now the problem is when you're in a YOLO wagon is you have fantastic top end speed, but you've got horrific traverse and you're longer than an after dinner speech, which means I can get round him really easily. It's going to cost me a shot to get round him, but that's fine. I will get round him. There you go, taking one from the money. Guess what? My old friend the IS-4 is still back there in the rear. I'm going to take another one from the YOLO. He's reversing. He knows he's in strife. I'm not going to follow him down. I'm going to pull up here behind this little ridge line, get another in him, and he's going to turn around and hit me again. Only I am patient. I'm not worried about doing the damage. I've got an STB1 who can do the damage right there. And hello, Dorothy. I've taken 2 hits. We've cleared out a tier 10 TD, a tier 9 medium tank, and we have lost 0 tanks in return. So that's knowing what's on the other team. I wasn't going to expose myself to big guns, and also using your teammates to do damage. If someone wants to camp in a corner in a heavy, fair enough. They're in an IS-4. At least if they've got the sense to do something, use it. Now this is an interesting situation. One tank is spotted, that T54 there. We've got 4 heavies moving up into town, but I'm not particularly confident because they're moving up in a very, very staggered line, which means they're more than likely going to get there one at a time. And that IS-7 who is right at the front has pushed up Deluxe. Now he would be the only target spotted on the enemy radar right now, and this is why you don't push at the start of games and why the guys that do and then call everyone cowards are just absolute idiots. He's the only tank spotted on the enemy radar right now, so people he can't even see are pumping him even as we speak. I have, however, noticed that there are 3 heavy tanks over there, 4 in fact, which means we're only missing a medium and 2 TDs. Both the TDs are very, very slow TDs. I haven't spotted them with binoculars, so they are going to be somewhere in their spawn And there they are. Now, this is a big mistake by me. I'm trying to do what I did in the last map, which is use the rest of my team to do damage. I'm going to keep him tracked. He's at such an angle that I'm not really going to pen and damage him as well as track him. And there's no one around to take advantage of this. I'm really not happy about this. Looking back at the gameplay, very, very silly move by me. But I am a bit of an addict for tracking tanks, and I eventually change it up, put another one into him, and then pull back, because the Yag Tiger has DPM that is very, very much to be respected. That 215B is pushing up on our E5. The 54 and I both pump him, and then I'm back again. I'm making sure that I have hard cover between me and the Yag Tiger. And even though I am actually doing pretty much everything by the book here, there's only so much you can do. Blitz is a team game, and their team is playing a lot better than our team. They've gone for the Iron Fist ID punch down the right-hand side of the map there, and we've more or less been stuck a little bit in odds and sods. We would have been alright if all four of our heavies had pushed up together or held back together, but they didn't. They went up in a single Congo line, and that really pulled things apart. Now I'm going to try and keep what's left of my assets alive. Now the T54 is an asset. We're going to talk here about recognising the game and trying to keep teammates in the game. Now I'm happy to take a shot from the Yag Tiger because it means he's not putting a shot in that T54. Again, track him. Get the track, get the track, get the track. As long as he's tracked, I'm not too worried about it. T54 will finish him off, and now we're 3 on 4, which is a lot better than where we were. And this is really the situation where being sensible and not expending your hit points at the start is where you want to be, because now you've at least got an asset in terms of a hit point pool to use that you wouldn't have had if you had rushed off with the heavies in the wrong kind of tank. STB1 is actually doing a really good job. He's looking at the map. He's recognised that there is a tortoise down the back who's on 33 hit points, and he is going to go around and absolutely wreck him. Happy days for us. iPhone 104 doing the business. We're in the Leopard 1, and what I'm doing here is basically gathering all our assets in the one place. I'm moving around here to try and link up with the STB1 and then isolate one of these big heavies and put damage in. Now they're playing quite sensibly, both these heavies. The mouse isn't giving anything away. The STB1 is spotted, and he's moved out there to get shots broadside, and he gets wrecked for it. We get a little bit of, well, we're a bit unlucky here. We miss a side-on shot on the T110E5, and we're just looking at the moment to make a little bit of hay by, again, moving back and trying to get an isolated target. Now, whether this works or not is neither here nor there. What I'm doing is taking my tank and trying to use distance as an ally. We track him. I mean, this is rough. This is how it goes, though. But we're so far away that we're still not spotted up, which is grand. And I'm going to use the camo here. Now, resetting camo is something I'm going to do a lot here. It's something that I'm basically going to try and utilize to actually get the win. I'm going to get the hit there and stay behind the bush. Now, because I'm far enough away and behind the bush, the camo is not going to be an issue. Break the track and do damage, resets the cap, but unfortunately the mouse then sees us. We think we can use those hit points to get another shot in, but should have used the heat, and we don't, we miss out. We've got the T110E5 on a reload, but he's not silly enough, and he's going to go right back into us. Now we're in a tough spot because the mouse is playing really well. He is using the cap to force me to actually get involved in the game, and we bounce off the turret of the E5, get the shot we wanted, hit the shot we wanted, don't in fact do any damage. That's a really tough roll because we've now had a bunch of shots go into that E5 without doing damage, and that's really what screwed us here, because the mouse, while he is completely a non-event in terms of putting damage in, is in fact forcing me to try and engage. And that's really clever play. So if you want to take one thing out of this whole game here, you should be looking at the fact that the mouse is being really sensible here and actually doing damage to me. I'm going to take another shot here, which I can't help because the mouse has put the pressure on, and we put the E5 to 84 hit points. We take one from the mouse into the bargain, just how it is, and he has not left the cap yet, and he is in fact in hard cover. So hats off to the mouse for this, and this is a really clever, well-played game from him. If I had been able to isolate and actually hit those shots, I would have come away a winner here. I think I could have COD'd the mouse pretty comfortably. But as it is, no choice here. I've got to go up and hit that mouse or the game is over. And he is looking exactly where I'm going to come out and gets me winner, winner, chicken dinner. So I hope you guys took a little bit away from the flexibility side of that. Being tactically aware is all well and good, but it doesn't matter sometimes how well you play and how well you utilize things. RNG can have a huge impact on your game. We had a few shots there that could have gone either way. None of them were guaranteed, but if they had gone my way, we could have easily cleared that E5 and then started working on the mouse. But as it was, the mouse played it very well, and the E5 played it very well too. He pushed up on me, he forced my hand, and he stopped me from getting around behind the mouse and resetting that cap without paying a penalty. I did have to pay a penalty indeed. Both times I tried to reset the cap, one of them the ultimate price. So there you go, boys and girls. That's recapping some of the major skills in the game. Use your camo, reset it all the time, watch the minimap constantly, read the team lists and form opinions and educated guesses from there. Use what is on offer and is the main objects of the game, the cap circles, and be a little bit patient with yourself. Be a little bit patient with the enemy and don't be the first guy that is spotted on a map. Good God, if you're the first person spotted, you are the first person every gun turns to. I'm Bushka Blitz, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, stay safe on the battlefield.